let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for all the beautiful pre-service songs you shared. It's been a long time since we were singing Christmas carols for the past few weeks, and it's nice to have these favorite songs back in the blend. I especially like the ones you wrote yourself. I really do. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Community in Citrus Heights. And we welcome you whether you are with us on Zoom and we can see you, or whether you've tuned in to our Facebook live stream. And also if you're viewing this service later in its recorded form. And we do encourage you to make comments, to do them in the chat if you're on Zoom, or to add comments on Facebook. Rest assured that we do read these and we do keep up with what you're telling us, and we are always happy to hear from you. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And so let us proceed with our service by sharing our vision and mission statements. Our vision statement: light-filled, heart-centered, spirit-led. Unity Spiritual Community prepares the way for the awakened human. And our mission statement: we are a visionary community offering sanctuary, celebration, enlightenment, and inclusivity for all who seek spiritual awareness. And so we just let these words permeate our being and know that they sprung forth from us, that they're from our hearts. They express our intent. They are the reason that we come together each week, whether it's in person or online. We are together. We are community and we are family. And so it is. Amen. And so let us share today's daily word. Today is Sunday, January the 16th, 2022. And the word for today is rise. I rise in consciousness to help create a world that works for all. I rise in consciousness to help create a world that works for all. Throughout time, there have been people who led lives that changed the world, that changed it forever. Their words and deeds provided hope and inspiration for those who would carry forth their legacies of love and growth and evolution, long after they left this life. Their most powerful contribution, however, was their ability to inspire others to express their own divine purpose. As more and more people reach their highest potential, the whole of humanity ascends. Today, I honor those who have led lives of service, striving for love, truth, and justice. I take steps not just to commemorate their journeys and contributions, but to embark upon my own. I rise, grateful to contribute all I can to the growth and evolution of humankind. And our scripture today is from the book of Ezra, chapter 10, verse 4. Take action, for it is your duty, and we are with you. Be strong and do it. And the word for today is rise. And we know that the things we learn in unity are the things that make it possible for us to rise and for us to be an important part of the ascension in consciousness of the human race, and we're grateful. And so now Lisa is going to lead us in another song, and we invite you to sing along.
One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people joining in one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. So we have a featurette this morning, and it's called Quantum Thoughts Featurette. You know, these things just sneak up on me, and then they blossom in my head, and then I present them to you. I hope that it is meaningful to you. This featurette had its beginning in a posting I read on Facebook. And so I want to read to you the text of that posting. Quantum physics requires an observer to have a definite outcome. So does that mean our universe requires an observer to exist? The equations show that particles don't exist as fixed point-like particles. Instead, they exist as an amalgamation, a bunch of all possible outcomes until observed when they fix their outcome. In a paper recently published in Science Advances, we show that in the micro world of atoms and particles that is governed by the strange rules of quantum mechanics, two different observers are entitled to their own facts. In other words, according to our best theory of the building blocks of nature itself, facts can actually be subjective. Observers are powerful players in the quantum world. According to the theory, particles can be in several places or several states at once, and this is called superposition. But oddly, this is only the case when they aren't observed. The second you observe a quantum system, It picks a specific location or state, breaking the superposition. The fact that nature behaves this way has been proven multiple times in the lab. And so this leads us back to the question, does the universe exist if there is no one to observe it? And is the universe that we perceive created by our observing it? My first exposure to the idea that the world we see might be an illusion came when I was in my 20s and started studying some Eastern religions. And in Hinduism, Maya is the powerful force that creates the cosmic illusion that the phenomenal world, the world of phenomena, is real. Maya is illusion. The world is illusion. There is a mechanic at play that creates what we see, and it's based on us being the ones that are seeing it. Well, the first time anybody is introduced to this idea, it can be daunting. It can be very confusing and a little bit scary. But it is reflected in so many different schools of thought, scientific and religious and spiritual. We have here, this is Unity's prayer vigil chapel at Unity Village. And Charles Fillmore wrote that spiritual substance is the universal matrix in which ideas grow and are germinate and are brought forth. Charles Fillmore was way ahead of his time. He predicted all the things that quantum physics has shared with us today. He liked to use the term ether. And during his era, ether was a scientific term. These ideas are congruent with Unity's law of mind action, that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, that what we believe is what we perceive. So when I got involved in Unity, I came across these same ideas that I had been exposed to and with Maya and Hinduism. And also Unity was my introduction to the Bible and to metaphysical Bible interpretation. One of my favorite Bible passages is from 1 Corinthians. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know, just as I also am known. And some translations say, for now we see in a mirror darkly, and I think that's more poetic. But it contains the idea that what we see, what we perceive is reflecting back to us, ourselves. It's a mirror. And it just supports the other sources of these ideas. Another school of thought comes from A Course in Miracles. And in looking for a quote to share with you from A Course in Miracles, I was looking through the very first of the daily lessons in the student's guide. And this is one of the very early lessons. It's in the first 10. The function you have given your body's eyes is not seeing. It is image making. We think that our eyes are beholding what is around us. What if our eyes are creating what we perceive around us? And even this week, that statement kind of shocked me. It did. You know, we all have our base assumptions about the nature of reality and the nature of being. And we get a little bit complacent in them. And we don't even realize that we have built upon these assumptions all of the explanations it gives through the day about what is life, what works, what is cause and effect, why is the world the way it is. We call these core beliefs or base assumptions. They are ontology, which is the study of being. And when you first are exposed to ideas that are radically different from your base assumption, it can be a little scary. You can feel like you are being challenged. A Course in Miracles will challenge you, but it's true. And I do recommend it. I don't recommend you are beginning to study it until you're done with our upcoming map course, though, because that's a whole different worldview. And I don't think that it would help you to be doing both at once, A Course in Miracles. Another source of this information is from the Abraham Hicks program. Esther Hicks is a channel, and Abraham is the name of the spiritual entity or group of entities that she channels. I'm not an expert in these teachings. I am in some of the other ones that I share with you, but I do agree with the ones that I've encountered. They tend to focus on the law of attraction. It is a good body of work. And I wanted to end our featurette with a couple of quotes from them because they're not quite as scary. They're kind of cheerful. But this one, and in the time of pretending that you are that, the universe lines up for you as if you are that. What you believe you are, what you are pretending that you are, is supported by the universe. And if that is what you believe, that is what you will perceive. And that is the way your life will unfold. And then ending with the most positive quote of the day, again from Abraham Hicks. You're in the perfect position to live happily ever after. You are in the perfect position to live happily ever after. So, ending our featurette on this positive note, we again invite Lisa to lead us in a congregational song.
I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I take. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection Thank you. So beautiful to see all of your faces. At this time, we draw into our consciousness the requests for prayer that we may usually leave in the prayer box in our lobby at Sylvan Center. All of our concerns. Anyone who may be struggling with health issues at this time, or peace in your family or in the world, we settle into that space of utter love and support. We see God working in and through all of these circumstances, knowing that the reality of them is greater than what we see. We see order and the perfect working out of our spiritual path, our spiritual journey in each and every situation. And because we know this, we do release these concerns into the loving care of the Christ Spirit today. Thank you, God. Amen. And now I'd like you to join me in preparing for a time of meditation. Oh, Spirit, guide me deep inside me. Take me to my heart place, the place of ease and grace. Breathe in this moment, this sacred moment. I am peace. I am renewed.
As we rest in this time of meditation, allow yourself to become very still, very peaceful. Breathe into the moment and feel how right it is that you are here, that you have sprung into being in this time in history, that you kept your divine appointment on this beautiful Sunday morning. You bring your unique energy into the world. You fulfill a role created for no other. Breathe again. And release any doubts as to your worth or your contribution. For you are infinitely valuable, irreplaceable. We thank God for each sweet soul in this Sunday service and embrace the opportunities we have for learning, for giving, for serving. Be aware that no matter what troubles you brought with you today, and no matter what challenges lie ahead of you, you are enough. You are wise enough, strong enough, good enough, and loving enough to move through all of your life, making the right decisions, being guided in your thoughts and words and actions, knowing that all is well. As we realize the truth of who and what we are, we learn to relate to each situation with grace and ease. We choose peace. We disengage from negativity. We apply simple tools consistently and experience life-changing results. As we pierce the veil of illusion and release error thinking, we perceive a new world. Strife and contention fall away. Struggle and lack are eliminated. We not only heal our own lives, but we also heal the world. For there is no difference. We are one. As we take this time apart, let us share a few moments in the silence. Sweet Spirit, we ask for the willingness to release the old, the limiting, the destructive. We ask for clarity of vision and purity of heart so that we may behold a new birth. And so it is.
My family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. Mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race, my soul inside. I is light. I am 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 divinity divine. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a place of it all. I am light.
Wow. Beautiful, Lisa. Thank you so much. Our talk today is an introduction to Perelandra Garden. And I am including an overview of many of the things that are associated with Perelandra. And part of the reason I'm doing this today is it's a background for the class we're starting Wednesday night on the medical assistance program. There's just a whole lot of information, and we're not going to go very deep on most of it, but it is a beginning to expose you to some of these ideas. On this slide, the bottom is the Perelandra website. So if you're interested in looking for her books or products, this is where you would go. Of course, you can always just Google Perelandra Garden and you will find it very easily. The inset picture is Machaelle Small Wright. She and her husband, Clarence, founded the garden, and she is the author of many of the books that are involved in these teachings. The photograph is of the garden 1 year because it changes every year. And the shape and the particular plants that are growing there and the arrangement is all determined each year by Machaelle working with nature. You may have heard of Findhorn, the Findhorn Community in Scotland. Well, the Perelandra Gardens were founded on much the same principles. It is working with the nature spirits to know how to raise the plants, what to plant, how to take care of them, how to arrange them. And this garden, Perelandra Garden, is in Virginia. It's near a town called Jeffersonton in Virginia. It's about 22 acres. Now, I want you to remember our featurette today about quantum thoughts. I want you to remember it is all God. That in the beginning, there was God. And from God, all else has sprung forth. All else has sprung forth made of God's stuff. And I believe that the basic building block of everything that is consciousness. And that fits in with all of our teachings and all of these related teachings, including some of the ones we're going to be talking about today. It makes sense that if consciousness is the basic building blocks, that meditation is the way you interact with consciousness. And meditation is a very important part of the practices associated with Perelandra Garden. Fortunately, that if you do what she says to do, your meditations will be easy and they will be deep and they will be very rewarding. At least that has been my experience with it. Another tool is kinesiology. And I will teach you how to do this Wednesday night. But kinesiology is muscle testing to see if your muscles are strong or weak. This is the method she prefers. The idea behind kinesiology is that your body knows the truth. Your body always knows the truth. Your body knows what's right, what's wrong, what's true, what's false. And if you have any questions, you can always find the answer by muscle testing, kinesiology, your own body. And it's used extensively through the practices associated with Perelandra Gardens. So as an example of the yearly cycle that Machaelle follows in creating the garden, she starts out by asking nature what should be planted. She'll go through seed catalogs and she'll say, green beans, sweet peas, broccoli. And with every decision, she is either doing kinesiology or she's very sensitive and often just knows the answer without muscle testing. And she says, we can too. And then with all these answers, all these details, she plans the garden. What to plant, where to plant it, how much, what goes next to what, and always leaving some plants for the insects. And then the insects don't bother the other plants. And leaving some of the areas wild and ungardened so that the entities in the area have some natural nature, if you want to call it that they can use for their own purposes. The primary nature spirits that she interacts with are nature spirits, which we might call fairies. These are the ones that are unique to each plant. And you know, fairies, if people were real sensitive and could just see little light entities kind of floating around plants, they might think that there were creatures with wings. I don't think they really look like Tinkerbell, though. Although I've tried to find them that way, I was never successful. But nature spirits, and then nature devas, D-E-V-A. And the devas are like over each species. They're like over the nature spirits. They are the architects. They contain the pattern for that particular species. It's hierarchy here. And then above the nature devas are Pan. You know, you've heard a lot about Pan, the goat god, in mythology, your own life. But Pan is the chief spirit of this kind of nature and is included when you are working with your garden. The other element that you would always include is your own higher self. And we'll work with those four ideas more when we get going in the class. Now, in the books, let's see, I brought some. This is the old version. It's got a new cover now. This is Garden Workbook from Perelandra. She has very detailed instructions, and they aren't complicated. She just tells you exactly how to do it. To do things like cleanse the negative energy in your garden or your yard or any property that you are associated with. And it's all a meditation. Remember, meditation, visualization, and energetic cleansing is something that she recommends that you do periodically. And it just keeps things balanced in your area. Another energetic ritual she has is soil balancing. And again, you would be in a meditative state, and then you would ask nature, and you can use kinesiology to test. These are several different elements that you can test for, things like rock phosphorus and dolomite lime and green sand. And then you find out if your soil needs the addition of the energy of these substances. And if the answer is yes, you take one pinch and you put it in your hand and you say to nature, I ask that you take the energy of this green sand or this dolomite lime and spread it to the proper depth and the proper strength throughout the part of my land that needs it. And then you give it a few seconds to work. And then you just go, you're done with that. So those little bottles I showed you, they can last a lifetime. You're only doing one pinch of any one that it needs because it's all energetic work. Another thing that she teaches us to do is how to open a nature spirit sanctuary. I like to call it a fairy sanctuary because it rhymes. And that is when you take a part of your land, part of your yard, it doesn't have to be very big, and you clean it out and you mark it off, you fence it, or somehow you put a border on it, and then you dedicate it to the nature spirits and you never go back in there. This is a sanctuary for them, and you leave it for them. And if for any reason you ever need to move it or you're moving, there are, again, steps you can take to dismantle it. It's hard for people. What's hard is that if you leave your fairy sanctuary open for a couple of years, the weeds start growing in it. And you're so tempted, you want to get in there and clean it up. But I know from experience, it is not a good idea to do that at all. Now, with these things, we have in the past worked with individuals, had events at their homes and led them through these steps, not because they needed it. Anybody can get these books and work this program by themselves. But it's fun to do it together, and it's a learning experience. And then we are all better equipped and more comfortable with going home and doing it for ourselves. Another thing I want to spend some time on is one of the energetic cleansings that she recommends everybody do on their own property is battle energy release. And it doesn't matter if your property is in a place that was ever in a war or not. She said, if a troop of warriors, maybe even Native Americans, ever crossed your property, ever camped there on the way to battle, or in any way, shape, or form were involved in war energy, you need to do this. And it wouldn't hurt to do it anyhow. You only have to do it once and it'll take care of it. In her book, Mount Shasta Mission, she did a cleansing of the battlefield at Gettysburg. It was a huge battle. Tens of thousands of people died there. It was terrible. And it was a very fascinating part of that book and how she was called to do this cleansing. Now, I wanted to read to you a little section from that garden workbook that I showed you. And this was an extract from a writing by an energy essence named Universal Light. You know, I don't question it. This is how I survive in my world, because my world is full of very strange things. I believe everything and I don't believe anything. I just don't worry about it. So Universal Light wrote, each battlefield, each battle, each war is a microcosm reflecting the position of the universe. So often people think war has been an ugly blot on the history of Earth, that it has reflected the ugliness of man on Earth. We do not see it that way in those judgmental terms. All the wars that have occurred on Earth throughout history have reflected a universal mindset, not a mindset unique to Earth alone. One of the things that is happening in our new age is we are realizing that we are not just creatures of the earth, that we are children of the stars, that we are part of a much bigger family, a cosmic family, and the energies that we have experienced and acted out on our earthly journey have not been contained and did not originate solely from Earth. The energy of war is universal. The Earth is a participant in that energetic system. And with the new age, this is changing. We will see an end to war. But in the meantime, I know it was surprising and a relief to me to find out that it just wasn't the humans that were so warlike, that there was an energy we were part of and that we were acting out. It's a whole different world view. The other things that are available from Perelandra Garden are flower essences. They are similar to the Bach flower remedies. And in the beginning, Machaelle Small Wright, I have got like 8 boxes this big of different ones of these. Flower essences, vegetable essences, rose essences. I got really tired of testing whether I needed all of them too, let me tell you. And she learned, this is 2 interesting things about it. She learned after a while how to imprint energy on the solution without needing a plant. That with nature, she could transfer particular energy into that essence and bottle it and sell it without needing a plant or a vegetable. And the other improvement was she created what she calls the emergency trauma solution, or ETS. And this replaces having to test all of those other flower essences. Do I need broccoli? Do I need this kind of rose? Do I need a petunia? No, just take a dropper full of the ETS and it covers all of it. In our MAP class, I'm going to be providing each of you with a ½ ounce of ETS so that you can experience it on your own. And then if it's something you want to pursue, you can buy some from her website. The other thing I want to touch on is the White Brotherhood, because the MAP class is the co-creative medical assistance program from the White Brotherhood. The White Brotherhood has been called the White Brotherhood for centuries, way before people thought that it meant anything bad, like racist or sexist. White means all the colors blended together are white light. And brotherhood is all beings. These are spiritually advanced, usually people that have been human before they died. I read somewhere that Jesus is a member of the White Brotherhood. I think both of the Marys, the Virgin Mary and Mary Magdalene, are. Some of the other names you may recognize are Melchizedek and Saint Germain. I mean, there's thousands of entities, at least, in the White Brotherhood. Martin Luther King and Gandhi, since it's that time of year when we talk about them. And it may surprise you, but Dwight Eisenhower is a member of the White Brotherhood. And this is an important component in what we're going to be learning with our medical assistance program class. I know this has been a lot, but I wanted you to have an idea of the scope of what goes on through Machaelle Small Wright and her books and at Perelandra Garden. And there are ways that you can go deeper in any of these aspects. And as we come to the end of our discussion and looking at our featurette as well as the Sunday talk, remember that truth, capital T, big T truth, does not change. It may be uncomfortable to have your worldview radically altered, to have to examine and maybe replace your base assumptions. But what that means is that you are just becoming aware of what has been going on all along. It can't be that scary because it is the way the world works. The world has been working this way even when you thought it was doing something else. So rest easy. Trust yourself, trust God, and enjoy the ride. And thus ends the lesson. Bless you all.
I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. And every time I forget that so, the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. How does the mighty oak tree face the changes autumn brings? He doesn't worry if he'll grow new leaves when it is spring. Let me be that trusting. Let me let go. I know the bugs are on their way, though I'm naked in the snow. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. And every time I forget that so, the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. How does the tiny robin feel when she finally leaves the nest? She takes a giant leap of faith and it lets nature do the rest. Let me be that faithful. Let me dare to fly. The wings are frail, they will not fail. There's a simple reason why. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. And every time I forget that so, the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. Thank you. And this is a time at which we have our opportunity to thank you for your part in supporting this community financially. We do have a number of expenses ongoing, and we just are so grateful for your continuing support, which allows us to minister to this community and to the world. So thank you. We encourage you to either donate online on our website, unitycitrusheights.org, or you may also find a donate button on our newsletter, which comes out every week. You can send your check to P.O. Box 2176, Citrus Heights, California 95611. So at this time, we will bless our love offerings with Unity's prosperity prayer, knowing that divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I choose to give, and all that I am open to receive. And so it is. Thank you, God. Amen.
We have a few announcements today. The first, as I mentioned, is that our map class starts this coming Wednesday at 6:30 on Zoom. We ask you to please sign up on our website. We're asking for a $50 donation for the entire course. It's 4 weeks long. Make sure you look at our newsletter. Just this last one will do it, because there's instructions on how to buy the book. You'll need the book. And there's other information that might answer some of your questions. I need to know that you're going to take the class, because I'm preparing emergency trauma solution for you. I look forward to it. I look forward to each of you being there. Next week on Sunday, our talk is about the power of prayer. We know that Unity was founded on prayer. Unity is first and foremost a prayer movement. And it was through prayer that Myrtle Fillmore healed herself. And it was through the prayer work of Silent Unity that the movement grew. And so we'll be talking about different prayer types and what Unity teaches and different experiences that we've had. On January the 30th, we're going to be talking about a season for nonviolence. A season for nonviolence commemorates the work of Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, and Cesar Chavez. The 30th, January the 30th, is the date that Gandhi was assassinated in 1948. And a season for nonviolence ends on April the 4th, which is the date that Martin Luther King was assassinated in 1968. So we will be sharing some ideas for peace and sharing some information about these particular leaders and how they changed the world and how they worked for peace. And then today, as always, we invite those of you who are on Zoom to stay after the service, after we turn off the recordings and it's just us chickens. And we'll have a time to check in and chat with each other. We thank you all for coming, and we now ask the lovely Lisa to lead us in the peace song.
Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, and let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin
And now for our prayer for protection, we know that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week.
We got a good thing going on around here. We got a good thing going on around here. You can see it on each and every face. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. We got a good thing going on around here. We got a good thing going on. We got a good thing going on. We got a good thing going on. We got a good thing